What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video we are going to cover 4 different charts equipped with different indicators throughout each chart. We're going to start off with the old-fashioned chart here that we normally use on this channel and move on through them, right? Just doing a kind of quick analysis using different indicators to kind of see if it all agrees, if we have confluence in where we believe the market's going to go across different indicators, or are there things that are disagreeing? I don't know. I haven't seen this yet myself, and I don't normally look at the MACD. I don't normally look at the ribbons. I mean, sometimes I do, right, for both. I don't normally look at the Bollinger Band, that's for sure, and definitely not the Stochastics. So definitely some interesting stuff to consider and go over there. But if that all sounds interesting to you, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content, and let's get into it. Looking at the daily RSI, I got to say I really love it. I love this bounce off the 50. I really do love the bounce off the 50. That's always a good sign. A rejection is not a good thing. Rejection is not normally a good thing, right? But a bounce normally is. It looked like you were having lower highs here, right? Like something like this. I'm not drawing it the best, but you can kind of see what I was going for before this little pop up. Looked like a wedge, and it definitely looked like you were rejecting down to come find a higher low. Nothing bad, right? Just a higher low, but not quite time to break out. And you said psych to that, found support on the 50, and you did in fact break out. So that's really bullish. I wouldn't expect that you would turn around here. With this kind of behavior, I very much would expect on a daily perspective, you would see the overbought zone being hit, right? And if you do see that happen, I mean, the last time we got overbought, right, this was the move, right? From a low point to a high point. That was the move, right? We're, in comparison, from a low point to the high point, we're only here, right? So we could have a little bit, we're like 2/3 of the way or like 3/4 of the way there, and it's not completely parallel, right? The measurement shouldn't be, but I'm comparing it to this one for a reason, right? It was the last time we were overbought. I mean, you could take this line here and put it over here from a low point to a high point, pretty damn close, and that was the last time it was overbought as well, right? Not spot on, but pretty damn close, right? And that's what we're going for, is not spot on, but something pretty damn close. And this does look a little bit shorter than it does closer. So all I'm trying to say, we haven't even gotten overbought yet. Normally whenever you get overbought, the party keeps rolling to the upside. When you're in a downtrend, not so much, but we might be breaking the downtrend right now. So that's exciting stuff. I definitely like the way the daily RSI looks. I love this bounce, and I don't believe it stops here. I was expecting that we would get a sell the news event on the 18th. And sometimes you do, and because of the FOMC meeting, it must just not have been as big of a deal as I thought it would be. And that's kind of what the market's telling us, right? There's not a whole lot of volume, right? Nothing. I mean, I guess there was above average volume the day after, right? But not a whole lot of volume going on around the event or anything like that. Nothing crazy, just some standard volatility. I wonder, from a low point to a high point. Yeah, we went right to our 382 and continued. This is just classic, beautiful stuff, man. Whenever you're in a strong move, finding support at the 382 is a very common thing to do. I did expect that we would go lower just because I thought that we were going to sell into the FOMC meeting, but that is out the window. Absolutely, it's out the window. I don't think we're going to see prices lower than that. And I don't, at this point, I'd be surprised if we saw prices too much below 60K. I think it's possible, certainly not below 59K, but something just below 60K I think is possible, but not right now. Not like we're going to move up first and then maybe like see some kind of higher low, and it might not look like that. Maybe it's less dramatic. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I do think that we're going to continue to move up. We'll probably get just above this high or right at the 886, man. Right at the 886. Right at the point where we broke out of this little like kind of wedge of a formation here in the daily RSI, bouncing off the 50, getting into the bullish area of control, looking like we want to get into the overbought zone where we will really show strength. I mean, I think we could move up to about $69,000 to 74.3K. I think we could. That makes sense to me. We're on our way. All we have to do is get 1 day or 2 days to close above 63.5K. Okay, 63,500. Let's call it 63.6 is a big deal. Okay, it's a big deal. You know what else is a big deal is this 123 daily moving average, which doesn't seem to be such a big deal recently, right? It seems like it's been disregarded, but you did find resistance in this area, right? You did find support right here. Yes, you wicked below, but you found support right there, like literally right there, bounced off it, right? You opened, had a fake move down, and then reversed, right? And it was just standard volatility, whatever, up here, and you inevitably did move down. Who's to say if it was fake or not? It's real. That might not be fair to say, but I'm getting poetic here. I'm not trying to get poetic. What I'm trying to say is this line, whether it showed respect here or not as much, it's definitely shown respect here, right? Very precise. We've seen this kind of precision before, right? Support right here, broke above it, consolidated, moved up, found resistance right here, right in that area, tipping it a couple times here. A little bit of disrespect over here, right? But still consolidating, finding resistance these 2 days before you closed above it, broke out, and really saw your move, right? We're in, like if you think about it like this, we're in this kind of phase, right? This consolidation phase right now, closing above the 123, and boom, we moved up. Stop shy. This is a different kind of phase overall. You know, it was larger. It was a larger thing in itself. But going back to the beginning here, right? Like if we're consolidating in this, and we're getting above the 123, that's normally a good thing. Normally a good thing. And generally speaking, other than like the last like 2 times, it's promoted some pretty solid growth afterwards. So definitely excited about that. I like the daily on this aspect. I don't know what else to say, man. Let's move on to the next chart. Looking at the EMA ribbon here, exponential moving average ribbon, right? We've got 9 ribbons on here, or no, I'm sorry, 8 ribbons. The 55, 50, 45, 40, all the way to the 20, counting by 5s there. Whenever the yellow is up, it's a good thing. Whenever the yellow is down, it's a bad thing. That's all you got to know. I should say whenever the yellow is above the red, it's a good thing. Whenever it's below the red, it's a bad thing. Looking at it here on the 4-hour, I don't know if that's going to be as much help to us as we need it to be. The daily, all right, looking good. Looking like we're about to get a fresh cross. Looking really good, actually. This is a nice look. Generally speaking, on these crosses, you can see, just like this back here, actually, you can see, and this didn't promote anything. It's not perfect, but generally, whenever you get this cross, right, you got it like right here, you do pull back into the cross and then continue outwards, right? Stuff like that happens. You get the bearish cross here and you pull back into the cross. This is a little bit delayed. I don't know if I'd count that, but still, you did pull back into it nonetheless. If we're getting the cross here, could we pull back into it? And by that time, you know, could the ribbon itself be a little bit higher? Might it pull back all the way down to where this cross actually happens? I don't know, but those prices are at about 60K, just below 60K. So if we were to pull back to the ribbon itself, just below 60K, which is something that I deduced from this video here as well, or sorry, from this chart over here as well. And that just makes sense based off of this ribbon, right, to do that. Except this time, I don't think we'll flop afterwards. I think this time we'll find support and we'll move up. However, we don't have to hit the ribbon, right? We absolutely don't have to hit that. Just because that's a common thing doesn't mean we have to. But regardless of it, whether this happens now and then we go up or we go up, it's looking good, right? A daily cross is normally a good thing, okay, normally. Wasn't here, but hopefully it will be here. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly is condensing, very tight, yes. And it's looking like we're going to get a week to close out of it this week, right? 2 days left, less than 2 days left. That would be nice to see. We have closed out of it twice before, and it didn't promote anything further. I think the real trick here, something that we'd like to see, is once we close out of it, let's get some continuation, right? Let's not just stall. Or if we stall, can we hold, can we stay out of it for more than just 2 weeks, which is what we've seen before, right? Either of those, right? If we stall, okay, cool. That's fine. We can stall, but let's consolidate, right? Let's not drop. The preferred method, I suppose, would be that we close here, whatever, and then we get continuation, because that's not, we didn't get that either of these, this time here, this instance or this instance, since the ribbon was consolidating, since we got below it and then closed back above it, right? I'm saying it's a big deal that we're closing above it now. I think it is a big deal. I think it was a big deal both of these times too. It just didn't promote anything further. Let's see if third time is the charm, and it can. I gave you the aspects, the perspectives that I'm looking for if we want it to be good. First one, or first possibility, I would say, next week we continue to grow, right? We don't just move sideways, right? We don't have these little fake out wicks. We close with a body higher, right? We don't move higher like this and then move back down, right? And then if we do that kind of stuff, we do that for more than just 2 weeks, because that's what we did here. 2 weeks here, and then 1 week here, not even, and then sideways. So either continuation immediately, or holding our ground for at least a half a month or so, right? At least 2 weeks. That's what we're looking for. That's what I'm looking for. And really, whenever this breaks out, when it comes to this, I would expect that we do get continuation upwards, right? And we can use our fibs here from a high to a low. The expectation at a minimum would be 82.3K, at a maximum 94.7K, right? That's like the minimum target area to hit, the primary target area. We do have deeper extensions after that. The 1886 to the 2618 should be considered. I very much do believe they should be considered. I think I should have gone over this in the last segment, but that's okay. You know, perhaps we'll flip back to this one just for that. We'll go on the weekly. Right. Okay. So high to low here, right? Discernible high, discernible low, last high to low discernibility before we saw this nice move up. Went right up to our 1414, back to the 100, and continued to move up, showing significance on the 2272, the 1886, finding support right on it there, tipping it, then moving all the way directly to the 3113 and holding support there constantly, finding support, resistance there, finding support on the 2618 consistently as well. Just very beautiful respect, all right, all the way through, okay? We take this high to low of this range, this little like consolidation phase right here. I'm sorry, it's so obnoxious, but this phase right here, right, the high to the low, that's what I'm doing. The immediate top that we saw after that was to the 2618, right, deep extension, 2618 deep extension. That was the immediate move right there, okay? We take that high to that low. The immediate top afterwards was the 2618 as well, right? Very perfect, right? And finding support right now on the 1618. I'm saying, based off of what we've seen, right, whether we find turbulence here at 82K or 94K, right, that can happen. This is the expected zone to hit the primary target zone. We could find turbulence here, right, just like we did here, right? But we continued past that. And I would think that the turbulence we experience whenever we go up there, it wouldn't be as long as this, right? The reason why I would expect that is because the turbulence we experienced here was after growth, whereas the turbulence that we would, well, I guess it'd be after growth, but it'd be right after a lot of consolidation because we're going to be moving up pretty fast, right? I don't know. That it could stop here. It's possible. They're primary targets for a reason, but I personally do believe we're going to go higher. And the main reason for that, before I go backtracking on myself here, considering all the possibilities, is that relative to this whole market, relative to the whole cycle moving up, Bitcoin has shown respect to its deeper extension levels, right? The very last time from a high to a low of a significant consolidation phase, right? Just like this is very significant, this is a very significant one as well. We went immediately to the 2618, to the 1886, and then deeper, right? From this one, 2618 is all the way up at 141K, right? So these targets below 100K, they are there, but that doesn't mean we have to stop there. We might bounce around, whatever, but up we go, up we go. I think so. I think we'd go between 105 to 140 just based off of that alone. But anyways, that was all under the premise that this winding up of the weekly band here and closing above it and expanding outward would promote some solid growth. That's where all that came from. Okay, so moving on from there, moving on to the next chart, I think. Yeah, let's do that. Looking at the stochastics here on the daily, stochastic RSI actually with the MACD. I know some people like the stochastics more than the stochastic RSI. I just feel like the stochastic RSI works better than just regular stochastics do, but I feel like they both do work well, right? I mean, to each their own. If you like it and it works for you, that's all that matters. I am going to get rid of the 123 here because we don't need it. We've already seen it. We know what it looks like. We don't need it. Don't get too attached. All right, so a little bit more going on in this one, right? Here's your price action. We're looking at the MACD right now, consolidating below the zero line, right? Both of these times here, or at least you found resistance here. This time it does look like you're peering through. Oh, that's actually really good. Oh, man, yeah. On a daily basis here, your red line, your slower moving oscillator, is above the zero right now. And you're gaining momentum with the histogram. And you have higher highs and you got higher lows. Bro, this looks good. This looks pretty good, actually. Nice. Definitely nice. The start of something bigger potentially. And that makes sense, man. That really makes sense. Here we are on a weekly aspect, right? As we continue to move up on a daily aspect, this will round out, this will round out. We're finding support around the zero area and then moving up higher, continuing to do so, right? The blue this time came just below the zero area, but the red still held above it, or the orange, whatever color that is. Right? We could see something like that here, but I don't even know. I don't even think the blue will get below the 0. Looking good though. Looking good. And we do have bullish divergence. Yes, I saw that. Right? On the histogram, low here, higher low, higher low. On the price, you've got a low, lower low, lower low, right? And still higher lows. No bullish divergence on the weekly oscillators, but you do have bullish divergence on the daily oscillators. If we're looking at the weekly stochastic RSI, there is bullish divergence there as well, though I don't know how impactful that is for the stochastic. It does look like a very strong bearish reading down here, right? But it's been so long, right? You've been in here for so long. It's time. It's time to move up. You look well overdue, right? This is a long time for being to the upside. You've been in this down phase here, just crushing it, being held down, right? Showing as weakness of a reading as you can, right, consistently. And this is all you got is just this tight wound consolidation, right, that's very orderly and structured, not breaking down, not chaotic at all, nothing to worry about, right? This is all you got with these weak readings. It's time to come up, and when you do come up, I think it's going to be phenomenal. I really do. Weekly stochastic RSI, it's a big deal what's about to happen, and we're getting the cross. We had the cross already, right? We had the cross back here in July, crossing out of this zone, right, and confirming, right. We crossed out of it here, but I guess we didn't get the confirmation. Oh, we need to keep going, man. Yeah, we need to. We're not there yet. Blue's out of there, but the blue's out, but not the red. Let's look at the daily. I like the daily. Looks good for continuation as well. All right, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So far, everything's looking like it wants to continue moving upwards, right? Daily on this, daily on this, daily on this. They all look good. And the weekly, of course. The weekly, what I love about it is the weekly on this chart and on this chart both are hinting that something big on literally every indicator that we've got available, that something big's about to happen, right? This one, I mean, I don't know. Last time we found support over here, right? It was something big happened, right? Could be the same thing, but not as big of a deal. I don't know why it's not letting me get out. Not as big of a deal as some of these things are. Anyways, let's finish this up with the Bollinger Bands here. Looking at this on a weekly basis, what I love about this, and I think it's a nice segue into the weekly time frame here, is that we've been consolidating right at the lower band, but not closing below it. Wicking below it's not necessarily desirable, but holding above it like this, we're very tight, very contracted right now, right? Something's going to give. We're going to expand one way or another. Something's going to give. And I drew it down first. That doesn't mean that's what I expect. Absolutely. In case it's not clear in this video, I very much do expect the price to continue to move up higher. We're at 62.9K right now. Found support on it here, right? The band was very tight at this point in time, right? Very tight, and then it expanded. It expanded out, and this time you were moving up, right? And it all started, it really started when you got above the blue line, which we're starting to do right now. The central line there, we're starting to get above it. Held support, right? Moving up, kind of held support in this area. Right, this is what it looks like when you continue to move down, right? You're not even getting up to your blue line. You get above it for a second, but then you reject back down. You can't even get up to your top zone, closing below your lower band there, right? This is reminiscent to me of like this over here, but it's tighter, which tighter generally means that you're going to get a very big move, right? That's essentially what it means, right? Like this was very tight back here. You got a big move. Very tight right now. Very big move, hopefully. And this is on a weekly aspect. Daily aspect here, let's see. Daily looks bullish. Yeah. Man, so that's another one, right? Weekly saying definitely something big is about to happen. One way or another, something big is about to happen. It makes sense. We're in this long-term consolidation phase, right? 6 months, essentially. Moved up, consolidation. Very long phase consolidation. And it wasn't a straight move up. I drew it like that, but we had consolidation here. We had consolidation here, right? Different phases along the way. It wasn't just a straight line up, but this is our primary focus right now, is this kind of formation here. I can't help but think it's going to break out to the upside. I don't think that you hang out around your prior all-time highs, finding support like this, and I think you would have gone down if you wanted to already. I think if this was to be a triple top of sorts, you would have gone down already. This is not This is the ugliest, strangest, weirdest looking triple top that I've ever seen in my life if this were to give out. Not to mention it goes against a lot of different metrics across the Bitcoin historical charts that this would just not be the top. But man, I'm getting off base here. What I'm trying to say, getting back to the point here, is that big things are about to come one way or another. I'm expecting it to be the upside, obviously, right? What was the last thing, man? There was something else. Oh yeah, weekly, big things, daily, signaling that we're moving up, right? Slow but steady, or I mean even nice and steady, but closed above, not yesterday, but the day before, closed above the upper band, found support right on the central line there, which I don't even actually know what that line's called. What is that line called? Is it your standard deviation? I don't think so, no. Your SMA, your basis MA, is that that's probably what it is. Anyways, guys, looking really good, looking very, very, very good. Like it wants to continue moving up on the daily immediately, which that agrees with this chart on the daily, that agrees with this chart on the daily, and that agrees with what we went over in the beginning here. All the weeklies look like they want to pop. The fact that we're looking pretty hot and pretty good on a lot of these dailies tells me that we're going to probably not pop right now. We're not going to pop directly like to new all-time highs right now. But when I say right now, I mean like this week or next week, right? And if it is next week, it'd be like the end of next week that we'd start that move up. But like over the next month, guys, things are going to get very, 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 very exciting. At least I think so. We're going to see some crazy things happen. And it all starts, it's going to start probably after the next couple weeks is gone. If not like a week from now, but we'll see. Anyways, if you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'll see you guys on the next one. Everything looks good. Looks like it wants to move up. That's the main message of the video. Take care. Bye-bye.